In this video, I'm going to go over the exact proteins that you need to eat to get six-pack shredded, the leanest and best shape you've ever been in your entire life. And stay for the whole video because I'm going to talk exactly about the key concepts that I use in our internal program, such as metabolism, how much to eat, how to eat the protein, not go over it, bioavailability, complete proteins, and then the actual sources of food that you're going to want to eat. If you don't know who I am by now, my name is Noel Knoll. I'm a D1 football captain and an online fitness professional, and I help a bunch of people change their body, get in the best shape of their life, and impact their family tree through their fitness. So I've helped dozens of people in the past couple months, and we have other videos highlighting those transformations. Today we're going to specifically talk about proteins and their role in your development of losing that body fat. So when we're talking about proteins, we believe in a very high protein approach. That's what works best for our clients like this to get absolutely shredded and be happy with what they see in the mirror. Low body fat percentage, below 10%. And if that's your goal, listen up closely because we're going to get into all this. So let's first talk about protein and the thermic effect of protein, what that even means. So protein, one of the three macronutrients, right? Protein, carbs, fats. Protein's going to be that big dog that's going to get you the results that you want. There's a ton of talk about protein. Let's actually break it down though. All these people talk about getting a ton of protein in. Why do we want that, and what's its role in losing the fat? So the first thing we're going to talk about is that thermic effect, which is the amount of calories it takes to digest the protein. So the thermic effect of protein is 30%. The other macronutrients, it's much lower, much lower, 20% lower. And so when we're eating more protein, there's studies that show that it serves as an over-the-counter fat loss tool that people use, like Ozempic or whatever. It's very similar in how it works with the thermic effect. So when you're eating a ton of protein, your body is burning more calories to digest it, so it's speeding up your metabolism. So the more that we eat, we're going to speed up that metabolism and then therefore lose that fat. So as a base, protein 101, right? It gets broken down into amino acids, and it's the building blocks of our body, muscles, bones, all that sort of stuff. Let's talk about the bioavailability of protein and what that even means. So when we eat protein, so now we know we need to eat a lot of it to speed up our metabolism and create that thermic effect. The bioavailability of the protein is how well, it says here, this is straight from Google, how well it absorbs and uses the protein from the food. So what this means is that not all proteins are equal. And the biggest thing that you need to know is that the best, most bioavailable sources of protein are animal proteins. So I've got a list of the top 5 right here that you can go to. Whey protein, and if it doesn't sit right with you because you have intolerances, then boom, egg whites, fish, red meat, poultry, all these are going to be way more easily used to help you with that fat loss, and they have a more complete amino acid profile, which we're going to talk about. The bioavailability just means that it's taking it's easily absorbed into your body, and therefore it can be used for these different sort of effects like carbohydrate metabolism and actually regulating your cortisol and being used to actually, like I said, the functions of your body, muscle, bones, etc. So the essential amino acids that we're going to want here, there's 9 of them, right? And what are they, right? They're the building blocks of the protein. Let's go deeper into this, right? Where are they mostly found? In those animal sources, right? The foods that are complete proteins, they contain all 9 essential amino acids, right? That the body is not able to produce on its own. So it's a pretty similar mix, but just so you know what incomplete proteins are: beans, rice, nuts, seeds. That's why it can be pretty dangerous or not dangerous, but it's just not as effective with vegans and vegetarians at times. That's going to piss some people off. It is what it is. Complete proteins, right? So we're talking about what that is, why they're so crucial, and it's all relating back to this, right? And speeding up our metabolism. And it's a part of metabolic priming. It's a really important part, which is a key pillar of what we use in our program. If you don't know what that is, go check out. I got other videos on my channel talking about that and how we use that to get people incredible results, okay? So now we understand, we need to have the complete proteins that have great bioavailability, that can be used to actually provide function and not just in and out like calories. And now let's talk about, okay, how much protein do you actually need to eat? So as a base, we start our clients, as a base with 1 to 1.2 times our body weight in protein. Now, this is a huge caveat, okay? If you're below 1 times body weight, then start at 0.8 and slowly increase. If we start with way too much protein, it'll really overwhelm your body and it can cause a lot of stomach irritability, and then also can mess with your kidneys a little bit too. So just be smart with that. You have to slowly progress into everything and have a progression just like everything else. Just like in the gym, you wouldn't go in and back squat 405 your first day, so don't eat 250 grams of protein your first day. The second thing is, you don't ever need more than 250 grams. If you have more than 250, the body's not going to use it all, and we could be using carbs instead, carbohydrates, to speed up your metabolism and improve digestion, all sorts of stuff, energy, use it as fuel. You don't need to go more than 250. Another caveat too is if you are above, say you're above 1.2 and you are above 250 grams, we'll slowly lower that too and just funnel those calories, those grams of protein into grams of carbs or grams of fat. And we have other videos talking about how much fat you should eat, and I'll make a more in-depth video or just about fat like this one eventually for you guys, okay? One thing that we see a lot of is, so we believe here, high protein, low fat, and then we use carbs as really the gas pedal to our metabolism. And that's how you sustainably can last. So we see a lot of people that come in, they've tried keto or they've done keto for a long time, and some people haven't lost weight and their metabolism has crashed. Some people have lost weight, but they also lost all their muscle and all their energy, and they just feel like crap and they can't even enjoy the foods that they want to eat. And it's not sustainable for a lifestyle, especially for most of the people that we work with who are busy professionals, managers, executives, business owners. It's not realistic when you're going out to dinner with your spouse and you want to enjoy the food and you're cutting out a whole macronutrient. So anyways, all that to say, how do we manage not going over in fat and keeping high in protein? The first thing that you can do is just measure grams and ounces. No matter what, you should be knowing what your calorie intake is and measuring your food. That's the first step. Like, close this video and go start measuring your food if you're not already doing that. The second thing that you can do is track your day of eating before, the night before. If you don't prepare, you're planning to fail. So prepare. Preparation is in the separation is in the preparation. We talk about that all the time. All my years playing football, separation is in the preparation. If you set yourself up for success using MyFitnessPal or whatever tracker that you use, planning it the night before and logging it the night before, oh my goodness, you're gonna be golden. Or you can do it in the morning. For most of our guys though, they wake up super early and get after it, so it's the best to do the night before. Okay, another thing that you can do is just wait out dense meats as cooked. I'm not gonna get a huge into this. That's a huge thing that we found has worked really, really well, okay? So with that being said, okay, where do we get these high protein sources? So if I'm only, if you do the math and I got 50 grams of fats, but I need to get whatever, 200 grams of protein, how do I do that? So we're gonna talk about, here's some high protein, low fat sources. A couple of these aren't incredible because this is why you gotta be careful using MyFitnessPal too, and this way we work with people, it's not super accurate. So we got tilapia, a good white fish. The one thing that you can always come back to is the whiter the meat, the lighter the meat, the less fat's gonna be in there. If we look at our more high protein, moderate fat sources, right? As opposed to, we go from salmon, we got a little bit more fat in there, as opposed to tilapia, it's very close, but it's a lot less, right? Our egg whites is going to be an incredible source. Like we said, that's already super bioavailable, so your body's going to use it really well. Sorry, a ton of movement here. Mahi, this is a really good one. You can see very, very low in fat. Greek yogurt, just be aware there's carbs with that as well. A really good vegan protein powder, that works as well too. Like we talked about, whey protein powder, ground chicken, boar's head turkey. Well, we also, chicken breast. If you stick to chicken breast, you can see over here, I have a chicken thigh here. So chicken thigh, that's going to be huge, but it's got a little bit more fat. So if you didn't already know that, chicken thigh, chicken breast over here, tuna and water, boar's head turkey. So you guys can save all these. Cottage cheese, just make sure it's low fat for the cottage cheese. And then we've got bison over here as well. Ground turkey, 93%. That's huge. Make sure it's 93%. Tops sirloin steak, flank steak. So you can see all these are a little bit darker, right? A little bit darker, so they're going to have a little bit more fat. So if you have more fat available with your macronutrients that are left over, that's a really good way to get it, is through these. And you can just even see with these percentage splits, like I said, take this with a grain of salt because it's some of these are not super, super accurate. The best way to do it we talk about it in our program. But by tracking either barcodes, or there's a bunch of different websites you can look up to get really good information. But as you can see here, just the percentages of what it's going to be in terms of your macro split. That's why I just look at this, right? Like mahi 90-10. So if you need more protein and nothing else, egg whites. So just look at these. So you guys can save these cooked shrimp, really, really good. So that's what we eat. So in summary, right? Like, why do we use protein, right? It is a huge over-the-counter natural fat loss pill. That's how we think about it, right? The thermic effect, how much energy it takes to break down the protein. It also is super important then from that to have a very bioavailable source of protein that's complete. Well, we've got them here. I gave you the options down below that are incredible. What is a complete protein? We talked about that. And then really, like I said, like stick to this. Always prioritize your protein. You can tattoo that on your forehead. Prioritize your protein and everything else will fall into place. If you guys have any other questions, or if you're someone that's struggling, that really wants to get these results, get in your best shape of your entire life, have complete health optimization, go click the link down below. We can book in a call and see if I can help you. If not, go follow me on Instagram. I post a ton of content on there. How do I make it all work? Playing football, running a business, serving you guys, all this sort of stuff. You can all check it out there and then message me on there. We can talk on there. And like, subscribe. I'm going to be having more weekly videos about how to get your best body, stories about, how I made the transformation myself, how I've helped people, case studies, and then also client interviews as well. So if you're still on the fence and you want to see what people are saying in the program, super proud to say that, we've got one of the up and coming fitness programs online where we just get incredible results for our clients that are sustainable. This is Jared, is 4 weeks. That's 4 weeks right there. So all using metabolic priming. We're not into huge deficits, keto, all that sort of stuff. We don't believe in that. We believe carbs are great and protein is great, just like we talked about today. So I appreciate all you guys. Keep making it happen. Out.